everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat, back with another Christmas in July project. For this one, I decided to go back to a card design that I made last year. Yeah. And it was someone I follow on Instagram, whose name has completely gone out of my head, so I'll put it on the screen after I've done the voiceover. And yeah, I was following a design that she was doing. Anyway, I decided to go back to it and do something similar-ish to what I'd done previously. I took some of the Blackberry Bliss cardstock and then this Altenew card, Altenew stamp with quite a sort of a modern looking poinsettia on it. And I'm stamping it in Versamark, and I'm going to stamp it twice on the same piece of card, just turning the card around so that it goes across the panel. And then I'm going to emboss it with some embossing powder I've had for donkey's years. I think it's Hampton Arts, but it's a fairly similar. It looks brown until it's until it's heated, and then you can see the magic there of heat embossing. Always amuses me. But yeah, so I decided to do that. So it's sort of tone on tone colour. And then I'm just taking the Gorgeous Grunge Splats stamp that's perfect for just adding a little bit of something in the background. And then I also take a wood mount stamp that I've got on the desk because I've been doing lots of the Daisy Yellow index card art, and I've used this one quite a lot in that, just for adding text or, you know, a bit of pattern in the background. So again, heat embossing that too, all tone on tone. Then I take, it's actually Rich Raspberry ink that I pick up rather than the Blackberry Bliss, and I just do a bit of blending around the corner and then wipe off with my dry cloth some of the excess that's sitting on top of the embossing powder, on top of the embossing. Right, I'm going to take that same image again, that's my background, but I'm going to take that same image again and I am going to stamp it onto some watercolour. I'm going to describe it as paper rather than cardstock. It's very flimsy cardstock. And I'm stamping it just in Strawberry Slush, and then I'm just going to start watercolouring with it. Now, I have a bit of a problem with this stamp. It doesn't want to stamp in one little area, so it requires me to do quite a lot of press-ups on it to try and get it to work. Now, this is going to look like, well, a hot mess, basically, because all I'm doing here is adding the colour into the background. I've gone now to Rich Raspberry from the Strawberry Slush, and then I'll go up into Blackberry Bliss as well. Doesn't really matter what this looks like because I'm then going to heat emboss over the top of it, and that just cleans it up. So it's a very messy watercolour look. And you can see this is the very dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just adding some in a few places, and then I'm going to dry it all off. So yeah, this is a very messy watercolour look, but once you add the heat embossing over the top with the line art, it sort of tidies it up a bit and it doesn't look quite as mad as it does right at this moment. So I've done this technique quite a few times, and also it's really nice to do some floral cards. I've been a bit, I've not really done very many floral cards during this Christmas in July. I do a lot of floral cards most of the year round. That's what I do a lot of. I love doing floral cards. So yes, it was quite nice to grab something a bit different. So you'll see there it's heat embossed, and I'm just trying to work out which one of the two. I've done two because you never know. And I'll just save what's left along with, I think I've got one piece of the Blackberry Bliss left as well. Already cut as a card panel, so maybe I'll use it and do something similar with it again in future. I don't do it at this point. I just tidy it up and put it all in the Christmas box at the end of the session. But yeah, I'm going to fussy cut it out. It'd be lovely to have a die that cuts this out. There probably is one. I just don't own it. I think I bought this second-hand, this stamp set, so it's probably quite an old stamp set. I think I bought it off eBay or Vinted or something as a second-hand set. I love it. I think it's great, and I use the sentiments in it quite a lot. But now I've fussy cut that, I'm now using some copper thread that just happens to be on the desk, so why not? And I am creating a whole bunched up mess of it, and then I'm going to put some foam pads so that this raises this panel up. I've had to sort of like manipulate it quite a lot to flatten it out because it warped quite a lot. And now I'm just going to slightly trim down that panel. And this is going to sit on my card base. So a little bit Martin Mayhem type design in terms of colour on colour. With a little trim border around the outside. He'd probably have put another layer of dimension, but I didn't. Right, I'm now going to take this stamp set and do the sentiment, deck the halls and die cut it. Now this is new-ish to me. Bought it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago. And this is the first time I'm using it. I didn't, however, die cut the first one very well at all, so I'm going to stamp it again and die cut it again. So in total I ended up die cutting it 3 times to stack. I didn't end up using the one that I stamped straight away the first time, that's up on the top right, but I do end up using the sentiment, which was the second time I stamped it, and then die cut 2 panels to go underneath. Now the part where it didn't stamp very well of the main image, you can't really tell it so well, but that's where I've decided to stick my sentiment. And I am now going through all my gems and all sorts of things, trying to work out how I want to embellish. I end up going with these sort of like dark grey ones. I mean, I could have got my alcohol pens out and coloured some clear ones, but yeah, that's how I decided to finish it off. Now, off camera, because I completely forgot until after I'd taken these photos, I then stamped the floral arrangement again onto a piece of white cardstock, added a little bit of blending, and then I added that onto the inside, because obviously it's a dark cardstock, you need something lighter to write on unless you have a specialist pen. But yeah, I think there is a photo right at the end that I took later on when I had managed to remember to do the inside. But I really like, there you go, I really like this card, love the design, and I hope you did too. Please thumbs up, subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.